Hi guys, it's Karen Sullivan here with lifehealthmore.net, and I had some questions today and had done some work in my classes, my weightlifting class that's at 9:30 on Monday morning. And people were asking about how to do something, or why does it hurt when I do it this way. And so as I began, we were talking specifically about shoulders and how to work shoulders. I'm not going to get into those specifics. I know that on my YouTube page, or that channel, Karen Sullivan there, that there are some older videos that I've done that talks about the mechanics of the body. And also on my lifehealthmore.net, I also have blogs there, as well as some tutorials and videos that you can have delivered right to your email and watch them at your leisure. And so that does go into the shoulder aspect, but I wanted to do like kind of a general conversation about how do you decide which way you're going to do an exercise. And so I dug out my weight here, and so I'm going to talk about it now. So for the sake of confusion and argument and everything, the main thing that I want to remind you is your body is put together in a certain way. Okay, that you have your humerus bone is in this whole shoulder complex, and it's turned a certain way so that when your hands are hanging at your side, your palms are facing your body. When you have an occurrence that perhaps it happened with my swimmers all the time, that when they were standing facing me, you could see the backs of their hands. And when you see the backs of their hands, it was an indication to me, the first indication that, well, their chest is very tight and could be weak, but those things you need to work out. And then the back needs to have some work done in the rear deltoids and in the rhomboids underneath the shoulder blades. And the way you can tell, especially with swimmers, is that their shoulder blades stick out like wings. And that's a surefire indication that you need to strengthen the muscles that are under those shoulder blades with doing back work and like rear deltoids. So it's the back of the shoulder complex. And those things, that when there is an imbalance in strength, is when you can start getting, eventually, you can start getting pain in the shoulder. And, if you have a swimmer that has those little wings in there, you need to come see me, and I'll help you out with the kinds of exercises that you need to do to help the shoulder and to keep the body healthy. You don't have to be a swimmer either to have that imbalance. I have an issue that I struggle with, which is the pain in my neck, and it has to do with, mine is, my chest is very strong and very tight, and it pulls my shoulders forward, and then the back muscles tighten up trying to fix it so that my head isn't jutting out and my shoulders are not rolling forward. So that's that perpetual push me, pull you that I have in my body. So do I do strengthening? Yes, I do. Do I do stretching? Yes, I do. The problem with it is that it's so deep seated, and it's been here for such a long time, that it is a constant chronic issue. And I have to address it every day. I have to do my stretches every day. And that's just the way it is. A lot of times when people have been in physical therapy, I don't know if you've ever asked the physical therapist, but the truth of the matter is, after you've been in physical therapy to try and correct an issue, when you walk out that door, you're not done. You're not perfect. You're good, and you're headed in the right direction, but that you will have to do those exercises probably for the rest of your life. And people don't. They just don't. Do I do it? No. I go periods of time, a year or maybe a year and a half or something, where I'm doing the stretches and my neck is feeling really good. And then life gets in the way. Next thing you know, I'm starting to notice where my neck is really stiff. And when I'm driving, I can't look over my shoulder. I'm not going to do it now because you're here, and that would be rude. But, that turning to look over when you're driving, and that's that's just life, guys. It happens, and I understand that you're not going to stick with it all the time, but at the soonest you can, you get back onto the treadmill or the lifting or stretching or whatever it is. So that said, I want to reiterate that it's important when you're lifting weight, whether you're doing a machine or whether you're doing a free weight, that you want to do the lift the way your body is put together. And as I was saying, when your palms are facing in, so you're going to do a chest press. Now rotating at the wrist, which moves then the up to the elbow, that's okay. You just, you're just pushing this way. But sometimes the mechanics of the shoulder hurt when you put your arms out like that. So the question is, which way is best for us to lift? Well, whichever one doesn't hurt. So there's a lady that takes my boot camp class. Well, it's actually a group fitness class, and so that everybody is doing personal training in a group. There are about 6 people in that class, and she has a really bad shoulder. And so when she does shoulder presses, she can't do this because it really hurts her shoulder. So she just puts her arms at her side and her hands are here, and she presses up and out. Hooray, the shoulder pain is gone. And again, she is addressing the issue of, I've got this shoulder issue, and she does the exercises and the stretching. At least I think she does. And if she's listening or watches this later, you know who you are. I'm not going to say her name. But so let's just talk about the position, and I'm going to try to hold my arm up like this now. You can see my body, and in bicep, let's talk about bicep curls, where I'm going to go out with my arm and I'm going to pull it up this way. This is known as a hammer curl, and I'll do it with this one so I can be, there we go, because I'm left-handed. So anyway, this is a hammer curl. A lot of times we do bicep curls, people turn them, up so that the palm is facing the ceiling, and they're both right. There's not one that's wrong and one that's right. I prefer the hammer curl because it takes the strain out of these tendons in here, and I'm always afraid of damaging it. I've injured it before from lifting really heavy, and so I like the hammer curl, which uses some of these muscles. Now there are some people, I know a lady who is dealing with tendonitis in that elbow, and she's miserable, and if she does the hammer, it puts a little bit more pressure on her elbow there and this muscle. Okay, so what's the best way? The best way is the way that allows you to strengthen the muscles but causes no pain. Okay, so it goes all the way through your whole body. You have to think about each thing. Did God make my body so that my feet are turned this way or turned this way or whatever? So when you're doing a leg press, think about that very carefully before you think, well, I'm going to turn my toes in all the way and do a leg press. Maybe not the best thing for your knees. And sometimes you don't recognize the pain while you're doing it, but just think, what is the mechanics of the body? What's it look like? And do it that way. Do it the way you were made. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on and listening to me today. Take care.